Hi everybody, welcome to A Cup Full of Confessions. I'm your host Jen.
And I'm your co-host Cherry.
So you already know we're sipping
And confessing.
So what are we confessing today?
We are going to talk about the intro to motherhood and everything that comes with it.
Okay. We're popping the Motherhood Cherry. And you know, before we pop that cherry, we got to get our drink going. What are we sipping on today?
We are sipping the full term.
What's in it?
Au Vodka, the grape flavor.
Okay.
Along with a natural grape juice, which is Casa Madera. We have our natural grapes here, mint leaves, lime. Did I miss anything?
No, that's it.
Okay.
So normally with this recipe, you want to make the grape juice yourself. Cold press or whatever they call it. So I have a juicer, but we're not doing all of that today. So we just got this, and it doesn't have any of the bad stuff in it. So it's no sugar, no water added, no preservatives. So this is basically what you would produce.
All natural.
Yep, that's what you would produce from your juicer. And then we're gonna get some of the zest and the juice from the lime. And yeah, so that's what we're making. We're gonna go ahead and get it together. So give us just a minute. All right, you guys, so we are making the full term. So we already have our grape juice in our cocktail glasses. Next, we're gonna go ahead and add our Au Vodka. And this is actually the grape flavor. You see it's coming out grape.
Yeah.
We're not gonna do too much. But when you do a pour with the correct spout with bartending, when I was in bartending school, they teach you, I think a half an ounce is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 in.
Okay.
And that's how you know that you gave the right amount. Are those
I
equal?
wonder why, like, you
How
know,
they knew?
right.
And then if you keep going like 5 and 6 and 7, it messes it up. Because the numbers are longer, the syllables.
Gotcha.
It's more syllables or something. All right, so we got our liquor in there, the Au Vodka. This is the grape. And you know what? When I was researching Au Vodka, you know how social media algorithms will quickly capture what you've been doing in your past time?
Right.
So the commercials for Au kept coming up on my timeline or promotions or whatever, but they have a ton of different flavors.
Oh, really?
Yes, they do. And the bottles, they don't all look like this.
Oh, I need
Like
to
even
check
with
it
the
out.
different flavors, they're not gold, and then you know they change the label color. They look all different ways, but this one looks the most fancy.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna check it out.
So what's next?
So next is the club soda,
All right.
which we forgot to mention.
We did
earlier, but it's okay. It's all
So the
good.
club soda is gonna kind of break it up. It's gonna break up the vodka. It's gonna break up the juice and give it a lighter flavor. Because this is really good for summertime.
Refreshing. Yeah.
Don't ask us how we know. You can take it up some more. So what have y'all been up to? Are y'all ready for let's see. I mean, what do you have going on? Jump in the comment section and let us know what you have going on. We're about to smash these. What we're missing is the fresh lime juice and lime zest. So if you want to squeeze some lime juice in both of ours. And you know, whenever you have like some food or a beverage and you have that fresh citrus, doesn't it take it over the top?
It does.
It like wake it up.
It's like that natural, you know,
Yeah.
that natural feel, refreshing.
Yeah.
On an island somewhere, just, you know, enjoying.
And then I'm gonna do a little zest, because whenever you zest the citrus fruit, the zest is the colorful part of the fruit on the outside, the outer layer. So orange is gonna be the orange peel, lemon is gonna be the yellow part, lime green. When you get to the white part, that's not the zest anymore. So you don't want to get that part in there. But we're gonna do a little bit of zest.
Fancy.
Yes.
And it don't take much to have a fancy drink at home.
It doesn't.
Right.
That looks so fabulous.
Right.
So we have our full term. We are ready to sip.
And we're going to add a few mint spreads just to dress it up a bit.
Right. So we're going to do that. Go ahead and get our drink complete, and we'll meet you on set. Bye. Hi everybody, welcome to the set. So as you know, we are sipping
And confessing.
So we are talking about, what is it?
The intro to motherhood.
Right, that's right. We're popping a Motherhood Cherry, and we have our drink.
And it's really good.
Is it?
I snuck a taste.
You did? I haven't tried mine yet. Let me give it a taste.
It's really good. Nothing like...
It is really good.
Yeah.
That grape juice tastes like communion time.
It's really... Yeah,
it hits the spot, right? Mm-hmm. It's not as sweet though, of course, because Welch's has a lot of sugar in it. Have you noticed that?
It is, yeah.
But yeah, so we're enjoying our drink. Go ahead and grab yours. Pause the video if you need to, but join us back. We're talking about motherhood. So, motherhood. What plans did you have? Like, did you plan your pregnancies?
No, I did not.
I didn't plan mine either.
No.
Well, the first one we didn't. The second one we did.
Okay.
We were planning it, but it still kind of came as a surprise when it happens. But yeah, so.
Yeah, definitely wasn't planned, but you know how it is. You just jump in and do what you got to do when the time comes. You know?
Right. I mean,
you figure it out along the way.
You immediately put the cape on, right?
Yeah, you figure it out.
That's what we're used to. So as far as like plans before you ever got pregnant, how many kids did you want? Like, did you plan out how many kids you want?
I didn't, but then as you know, I started to. I think after having my first, I was like, okay, 3 is my number.
Okay.
3 is my number. Being an only child, I'm just like, okay, 3.
Sounds like a nice round number.
Right. But yeah,
3.
Mm-hmm. What about you?
For me, I didn't want any kids. No, I love my kids. I have 2 kids now. I love my kids, and I couldn't imagine life without them, of course.
It just wasn't,
Right, it wasn't in the cards prior to. So, yeah, I didn't want any kids. And my husband, I think he wanted like 10.
Okay.
He comes from a big family, so he was kind of like the more the merrier. And I'm just like, that's not what we're doing over here.
Steep.
Right. That is not what we're doing over here. But yeah, so I ended up having 2 kids, and that just seems like it's enough for me. And the gender, actually, my oldest is a boy, the younger is a girl. So like I would meet people in real life, and they're like, so what do you have? I'm like, 2 kids. What do you have? And I'm like, a boy and a girl.
And the oldest.
Yeah, they always ask me who the oldest is, and I'm like, my boy. And they're like, oh, it worked out great for you. That's perfect. And I'm like, I had to really start thinking about it. Like, is that perfect? Like, people really expect for the boy to be older. Because you look at it like, okay, so now my son can kind of take his sister under his wing, while they're going through the ropes and stuff. And that's really how it is, although my daughter is real sassy. So I think a lot of times she thinks she's the oldest one.
Yeah, but she'll always have her brother to protect her.
That's right. That's right. And he's very protective. They love each other so much. Like, I was at the bank earlier this week, and I told him to sit in the lobby while I got in the line. It's 2 single chairs, kind of like similar to these, but not swivel. They each sit in their own chair. So I start filling out my deposit slip, and I look back at them, and they are in one chair. And they're just like, my son has his arm around his sister, and they're just like doing something. They weren't fighting or anything. Yeah. And there was this lady standing in front of me, and she's like, are those your kids? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, they're brother and sister. I said, yeah. She's like, I don't remember my brothers treating me like that. I said, they get along very well. Yeah. So I'm really blessed for that, because I know a lot of times siblings,
what are they, like 2 years?
They're just 2 years apart, and they have the rivalry. They do it a little bit.
Yeah, but they're siblings at the end of the day.
I'm kind of wondering how it will play out when they get older. Like, will they turn up with it, or are they going to stay? Because I tell them all the time, I'm like, look, it's very important to depend on your sibling.
Right.
You need to have your sibling in your corner. You get along with each other. Y'all are not going to always get along with each other, but you need to overcome the obstacles and all that, type of stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But so what do you have?
2 girls.
Okay. Look, I'm asking you like I don't know.
Right.
She's telling y'all because I know.
two girls, 5 years apart. They're inseparable, honestly. And it's funny because a lot of people think they're closer in age than what they are, but that's just their relationship. So you made me think when you were just saying how they're like super close.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell them the same thing. Like, you're not going to always agree on everything, but like, don't lose that love and that connection, the bond that you all share, because
it's so
at
endearing.
the end of the day, yeah, like, it's just you two. So you don't have anybody else, you will have each other.
And that's exactly what I say.
Yeah.
Because like when you become an adult, you see how treacherous the world can be.
Mm-hmm.
And then even like, I hate to say it, but like friends, but close family members.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see, okay, well, everybody is not for me. I definitely want to be able to count on my siblings.
Absolutely.
We're raised in the same household. We have the same principles, those types of things.
Right.
And I can really count on you to be genuine and supportive and,
Mm-hmm.
just there
like
for
you
me.
don't have anybody else, but I know I got you.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
Now, I will ask, like, as far as you having both genders, like, how is it for you being a boy mom and then having to transition, like, into a girl mom?
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. And so with having my son first,
Mm-hmm.
my son is not a rambunctious kid.
Okay.
He's very laid back, cool, go with the flow, you know?
Mm-hmm. I was saying, okay, but yeah, he look like I know he is. And
I was just like, what am I going to do with a girl? A lot of times people will tell you, like, girls are real sassy and, you got to, like, really prepare for them.
Right.
Which is, true. But I'm getting texts, phone calls, everything. Okay. What were you saying?
Yeah, we were just talking about the transition.
Oh, sassy girls and rambunctious. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, with having a boy, I was concerned because we got along so well. You know what I'm saying? Like everything just vibed so well, and I was just like, how does this work with the daughter?
Right.
With my son, I love, haircuts are important to me. The line, all of that stuff. So we started my son out, and I say we, but me, started my son out with waves. So he had the waves, the 360s popping at a very young age. And we just transitioned over. He said he wanted to grow his hair out.
Okay.
I said, how do you want your hair? And he said, what are my options? And I told him, I named out different styles. And I was like, or you can have locks like mommy. And he was like, I want locks.
Are you serious?
Yes. So he's growing his hair out now. And while he's in the transition stage, we sponge it. But that's where we are with it. So I love that vibe. He started sports before my daughter because he's older. So we do the sports thing. That's been exciting because I'm kind of an introvert. So when we go to the sporting events, I'm like turned up.
Right.
So I'm like not my normal
your baby, like
yeah, and I'm just like, who are you? Like this is not even who you are, but it's like mom mode, right? So I haven't gotten there with my daughter, but we started her out with, and I keep saying we. Yeah. No, I started her out with ballet. She didn't do that for a super long time, but I enjoyed it. So it's kind of like the transition from the boy side of things to the girly side of things. So I really enjoy that. So now we're looking at cheerleading, and then even, how I said about the haircut situation, like when I do her hairstyles, I really enjoy that. And like, how when we get a fresh hairstyle, we pop. Yeah. Like I feel the same way with her. Like she gets dressed, I'm like, where's your necklace? Or she'll go and get her little chain or some pearls or her bracelet, or a girl, she'll get her little purse. Love it. Look, and sometimes it's full of money. I'm like, where you get all that money from? Let me get some. Let mommy get some. But I love the dynamic, to be honest with you. Like their rooms, my son's room is like totally boy. It's like Spider-Man theme, up and down. And my daughter's room is like unicorn theme. And I just love it. I love the dynamic. So just like people say, it kind of gives you the best of both worlds. Right. It definitely does. Now you have 2 girls.
Yeah.
So how does that feel like with one coming behind the other?
Well, for me, it's still like it's a different dynamic as well because they're, like I said, 5 years apart. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I have one that's like complete teenage mode, and then another one that's like, you know, transitioning into that mode right mm-hmm. now. And they're completely different personalities. My oldest is more laid back. They're both outgoing, social. But my oldest is laid back. I get the sassiness from my youngest. You know, I always say that's my challenge. That's my challenge child. So,
girl, that number 2 always does it for you. Now, your daughter is still laid back for number 2.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, I saw a meme recently, and it was like, if you had your number 2 first, you mm-hmm. probably wouldn't have had any more.
Right. Oh, girl. Like, she's definitely my challenge. But they're both respectful girls, mm-hmm. you know, like all the time. But it's just like, she's just a little more expressive, mm-hmm. you know. So her personality is more just, like I said, expressive. Like, you know,
like take it or leave it.
Right.
This is what you get.
Exactly. Yeah. She's gonna give it to you how she feels and that whole thing. My oldest is more like, okay, she's gonna try to put that censor on it. She doesn't want to. She like non-confrontational, mm-hmm. but it's the opposite with my youngest.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
I didn't even know that about him.
My youngest is willing to address whatever, but my oldest is not like.
I kind of had to teach, like, with my daughter in the house, mm-hmm. she's very in your face, mm-hmm. but out in the world, I noticed she's very to herself, not willing to be too aggressive mm-hmm. with things. And I had a conversation with her the other day, and I was like, look, you're not going to do that. You're not going to be walking around, creating demands in the house. Mm-hmm.
And you gotta have that same energy.
Yeah. Exactly. Have that same energy when you get out in the world, in the classroom, if somebody steps to you or something right. like that, have that same energy.
Right.
And not that I want my kids to go around and be, bullies not. Or anything like that, but mama don't take no crap off of anybody, and when you're out of my sight,
right.
then I need to know that you can handle yourself.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of how that goes, but that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
So we talked about that. Did you do the maternity classes?
I did not. I did the class for nursing.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was a little different mm-hmm. Because that was just their focus on, breastfeeding and so forth. So I was able to learn how I did it for my oldest. So how their process was going to look and what to expect and how to go through it and, the pros and cons and so forth. So, yeah.
We did maternity class. It was a lot of fun. So, and I remember growing up, as far as maternity class is concerned, I think it was on Cosby Show or A Different World.
Okay.
One of the older daughters went to a maternity class. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that episode? Mm-mm. In a maternity class, she was like, and I just remember that stuck with me since a kid.
Yeah.
So when I went to the class, I'm like, Lamaze right. training, the breathing technique. So I was just like, okay, when do we do the hee-hee-hoo? And they never did.
That's the major part.
Right. That's what I was waiting for. They never ever did it. But mm-hmm. they did some really good things in there. We did the breastfeeding. I think they had little, I don't know what they're called, baby dolls or whatever. Mm-hmm. So we practiced with that. And we did the CPR. Did y'all do the CPR?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we practiced that. And they also gave us some good nuggets as far as pain management.
Okay.
You didn't have a chance to do that, right?
No, I didn't.
So with the pain management, they talk about the different senses. We have 5 senses, right? Mm-hmm. So of course, pain is the feel, right. The feel sense. So then you have smell, hear, see, touch, and what's the last one that I'm forgetting? I don't know what I can't think of it either. So they were telling us when you are in active labor, mm-hmm. that's when you're having your contractions and you're about to deliver, right?
Right.
Because it's been a while.
Yeah. Definitely for me.
You're having your contractions, and when you have that pain sensation, all of this is brain waves, right? So when you have that pain sensation, it's going to your brain, but if you counter those sensations or those brain waves. I hope I'm saying all of this right, because I'm not a scientist, I'm not a biologist, I'm just recounting what I learned in this class. But when you have those waves come across you, if you can counter it or combat it with another one of your senses, you will lessen the pain that you're experiencing from the contractions. Contractions.
Yeah.
So like smell, when I went into the delivery room, I had a candle. I didn't have it lit, but I made sure to get one that you could smell it real strong. You know how you smell candles when you're shopping for candles, and some smell more potent than others?
Yeah.
So when I was testing them out, I knew, okay, well, I don't think they're going to let me light this in the delivery room. Like, that's a liability. But I need to be able to smell it and actually smell it. Because some candles, they smell good when they're burning, but you can't smell too much when you just put it up to your nose.
Right.
So I had a candle. That was smell. Sight. It didn't really help me, but I actually filmed both of my deliveries.
Okay.
Did you do that?
No.
So I watched them. I've watched them just maybe a handful of times since I had the kids. I actually showed one of my kids the video.
Okay.
They don't know what they were looking at, but they saw them come out, and I was like, "Oh, that was you coming out." They're like, "What?"
Right.
So that was pretty cool. But yeah. So oh yeah, I did have visual. I just remember that. So the visual, I had a mirror.
Okay.
I think this was just with the second delivery, though. I don't think I had the mirror with the first. I can't really recall. But I do remember in my video, somebody panned to the mirror, and I can see everything. So maybe I did in both, because you could see, I don't know, whatever. So that was visual. I did smell. Hearing. I had, at that time, everybody was on Pandora, right? So we did Pandora radio, and I did Sade. So Sade radio, so majority of the music was Sade, and then you had other like sensual R&B slash, I don't know, Sade is kind of like smooth R&B. But yeah, so that was playing. It was so dope. And then so in my room, they had the lights. The lights were dim. Did you experience that? I was wondering, was that normal?
No, I don't recall. It was just normal.
Now I think my first one was normal.
Okay.
But my second one, the lights were dim, and I have it on the video, but it was a mood.
Yeah. Okay.
It was a mood. And then
which I'm sure it made it more relaxing and less stressful.
It did. And then even with the point I'm making, it did, I feel like it took away the pain. Because I wasn't in labor too long.
Okay.
And I just pushed like with both of my kids. I remember one of them was just 6 pushes and they came right out. And then it's something that I do of a sexual nature. I think it has a relation to like the Kegel exercises where you're flexing those muscles. And I've done that in different environments before, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So when I was thinking about the deliveries before I had the kids, I was just like, what can I do to help me, in the process? So when I was pushing, I was doing that. So it's like grabbing it and then like pushing it. And then I would like grab it and then push it. And I didn't push too many times. So try that, you guys. It definitely worked for me.
Okay.
That's one of my tidbits. But all of the stuff I just suggested, the smell, the candles, the visual with the mirror, and definitely record it so you can have that memory. Sound, have your music playing. And I think it depends on your hospital too. Because if you go to a janky hospital, they'll probably try to shut some of that stuff down.
Right, they won't even, yeah.
Oh, taste. That's number 5.
Yeah, okay.
Taste, because I just thought about it. So taste, when you're in labor, you can't have any solid food. So, I don't know if I had, I did. With both of them, I had popsicles. So they have popsicles at the hospital. Most people only know about the ice chips.
Okay.
But ask them for a popsicle. They have those little, the twin pops. They have the twin pops like grape, cherry, and orange. Yeah. And, they'll set you off. But that hit the spot.
Okay. So yeah, I'm sure that was like less stressful and you enjoyed the experience.
I did. I really did. Did you, so I don't know if this was a thing because your kids are much older than mine. when I was pregnant, a lot of people were getting full glam before they delivered. Did you do that?
Absolutely not. That was the furthest thing from my mind.
Neither one?
Mm-mm.
I did it with my second. My first one, I felt like I missed the opportunity, but I did it with my second.
Okay. I mean, I could definitely see it now. Like you said, fast forward to now. But yeah, then no. It may have been a thing, but it wasn't anything like...
You were focused
on? Yeah, and not like it is now, you know?
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Right, because even with my full glam, it's nothing compared to this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because at this point, my oldest is almost 20, you know? So...
Yeah, nobody's focused on that. At least we weren't. Like, what? Do what? Yeah. No, nobody's doing all of that. Did you ask for a push present?
No.
Do you know what that is?
What is that?
The push present is, and it came, I noticed it when I was pregnant with number one.
Okay.
So the push present is a gift that your husband or, you know, whoever you're having a kid by, the child's father, gives you after having a baby. It's kind of like a gift. Like, here, you push this baby out, let me give you a gift.
Okay, so I got some presents I need to collect.
Right. Pass through gifts, right? With interest, baby. So I learned about it when I was pregnant with number one. Expected my push present, didn't get jack. I was so disappointed. Because we go through a lot when we're pregnant.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then the second one, I like drilled it in how important it was for me to get my push present. And I still didn't get it. So I was really disappointed about that. Now let's back up a little bit.